Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Spotlight Games podcast for episode 173. I am not Patrick, and this is not Cayman. I'm Jake, and that's Jerica, and today we're talking about a lackluster Pokemon Presents, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and so much more. Jerica, one half of JK Games, 1/7 of Drop In, Drop Out, and one whole of my favorite person on the internet. How are you?
Fantastic. Ready to talk about the gaming news. I don't get to do that often, so I'm excited. And then even better, the gaming news I'm not sort of up on. So this will be like ad-libbed and you're going to educate me and then I'm going to give you my raw opinions on it.
It's perfect. When I asked you to hop on here with me, I knew that the Pokemon Presents was today, and one of the first I would say big pieces of content that we worked on together was the Pokemon make your dream Pokemon game, which is kind of we're on Drop In Drop Out live right now because I couldn't log into Spotlight, so we're doing Spotlight on Drop In Drop Out. But if you're a podcast listener, it's your regular experience. YouTube VOD watcher, your regular experience. If you're live, it's pretty much your regular experience, just on a different channel. But was that Pokemon create your dream Pokemon game, and we kind of went through and all explained what it would all look like. And we have an episode coming up on Thursday that we can tease for Drop In Drop Out, where we're doing something that's kind of similar but way more open as far as interpretation goes. You want to give the 30-second pitch on the episode?
Yeah, Thursday we'll be basically drafting and creating our own game studios. I'm calling it Studio Showdown. And basically, we get to pick and choose who our game director is going to be, our lead composer, lead artist. And yeah, you get to put whoever you want on your team. Now, I know not everyone knows every dev out there, but we all know who Kojima is. And will I have him on my team? I don't know. I don't know if he plays well with others. So we'll find out. And then after we're done picking our team, we present and say what kind of game they're going to play. So should be really fun and entertaining. I'm excited.
I am too. I was originally, behind the scenes, we always set up Drop In, Drop Out ahead of time, usually 2 weeks before, and then we kind of lock it in on the Sunday before at our weekly meeting. And initially, I was going to be kind of behind the scenes. Patrick's out right now and make sure that everything was all good. And when Jerica pitched the idea, I was like, hey, how about I'm on the show? I want to draft a team too. So we got a good squad of 4 that are all going to put together stuff, and we'll have some good crowd interaction as well, as far as you guys making your own team and then deciding who made the best team out of the 4 Drop In Drop Out members. So I'm very excited for that. But hey, this isn't Drop In Drop Out. We're just on the Drop In Drop Out channel. This is, of course, Spotlight Games, the podcast where each week we spotlight the latest and greatest in the world of video games. You can get it by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Spotlight Games Pod, or by searching Spotlight Games in your favorite podcast app. And hey, you can be on the show by tuning in as we record live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time on twitch.tv/ Drop In Drop Out Pod this week. But usually the Spotlight Games Pod. So follow us there to make sure that you're notified. W intro. It's just so easy. Patrick gets mad because I tell him that Spotlight Games is the easiest podcast I've ever hosted. I love it. I just get to talk about the stuff I already know about. But I get to talk about it with somebody that is forced to listen to me. So
here we go.
Good to have you. What was the last time you were on Spotlight?
It's been decades. It's been years. It's been 84 years. I don't remember the last time I was on this show.
Have you and I ever done a podcast just us?
No.
Yeah, we're killing it already though.
Yeah, a lot of firsts tonight. I'm sure there's a few more that will make it to the list.
Oh, just you wait. Let's talk about. We usually do a little bit of a what we're playing thing, and I think for you and I, it's very easy. We'll do a little bit of a conversation on Donkey Kong Bonanza, just a light follow up, because we had on Drop In Drop Out last week, kind of the precursor to this conversation. How much have you played since then, and are you still loving Donkey Kong Bonanza?
I'm still in love with it. I'm still getting surprised. I've probably played an additional 3 to 5 more hours, maybe.
Nice.
But I've not left the canyon layer. So I've beaten the boss in that layer, but I haven't progressed because there's so many fossils there. And I'm like, this particular biome is much different than the other ones. There's so many mountains that I can punch through and find treasure. And I'm starting to see the progression of the cosmetics and the abilities. I'm like, oh shit, they can get level 2 versions of the outfit now that helps me find treasure. Like, I don't know, like that stuff's cool. So like that's been the new thing that surprised me. I'm like, the next thing that's hooked me in. So now it's keeping me in the layers. I don't want
Yeah.
to.
I think I was in the same spot as you where I like it finally clicked for me as far as like the economy goes and like what I was focusing on, because I was very like collect all the gold I can find. If I see it shining, I grab it and get every banana and do every side quest. And then I kind of realized that like, oh, well, actually the only thing that's really tied to progression is like go to the next objective and
Yeah.
also get fossils to look cool. And I've now gravitated towards, okay, all I care about is fossils and doing the next mission and getting on to the next thing. But that was the point where I was like, this level, it all makes sense. Let's find a bunch of fossils because I want all of these like cosmetics and stuff. And that is like such an underrated part of this game, is just
How could it
making
be
Donkey.
underrated? Like I everybody should be talking about that because like
I
the
know.
little cowgirl outfit that
It's
you
so,
can get is so cute. I
and
was
they're
like,
like so matchy too. They're such a good duo.
yeah.
I really, Donkey Kong and Pauline are so special. It is ridiculously good. Let's not dwell on this because we have loose plans to get the squad that talked about it last week back together in like a month or so, once both myself, you, and Kayla have rolled credits, and then if anybody else wants to hop in from drop and drop out to do like a full spoiler cast, because I think there's a lot to love about this game, and it is kind of hard to talk about in a lot of ways because like the cosmetic stuff, like for me, if someone was like, oh, well, you get the blah 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 in the next level, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, don't tell me that.
Oh no,
I
hope
want to
it, like hope
discover.
no one I've spoiled that you get a
No,
little
no, no.
cowgirl outfit.
You're not far enough to spoil right now based off of like what's
Oh
already
hell
been
yeah.
shown in those
Good.
trailers. You know what I mean? Like
Good.
we've seen those outfits all the way
I don't
through.
want to
I
make
think
the
the first
chat
5
mad.
or 6 layers, to be honest. Quite a bit. Speaking of our mad chat, welcome in everybody. Good to see everyone rolling through. I see Eula, I see High Score Weekly, I see Coal Mines, I see Cirrus, I see Mr. Treehorn, I see Gianni fresh off of an appearance here on this very podcast. We love that. Ike is here as well. Cognitive Clips, our very own, with a 6-month sub. What a fucking icon. Gianni also in on a 6-month sub. A little hype train going on. I think I might have one of those to supply. Let's push that thing along, you know? But thank you guys all for being here. We will read your chats if you say anything worthwhile. Not to say that you're not saying things worthwhile yet. You guys know how it works. The meat of this entire podcast and the title of this podcast, I have deemed Pokemon Disappoint.
What's
Because
new?
Jerica, yeah, I know. This morning there was a Pokemon Presents. And leading up to this moment, I said to myself, there's no way they're not going to show something big and important. And here's why. Because in February on Pokemon Day, when they had a Pokemon Presents, they showed everything that I would expect them to show. And I was like, they can't have another 5 months to work on things and then come back and just show us all that stuff again with like, oh, but now look, there's a new Mega Evolution and also a new $10 spin-off game available on mobile. But they did exactly that. Pokemon disappoints like no other. Surprising to you? Not at all?
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It was nightmarish. I will say, I had an interesting day. I had one of those nights where I was like, all right, well, it's 4:30 in the morning and I have to stream at 8 a.m. now. Should I go to sleep and then wake up really tired? Or should I crack a little fucking soda pop, play a little Donkey Kong, and have myself a night until it's Pokemon time? And I chose the latter. And I'm so glad that I did, because an hour before the Pokemon Presents, there was a countdown initiated on the very Pokemon live stream that would eventually host the Pokemon Presents. And what this ended up being was the premiere of DJ Pikachu doing a full DJ set for 1 hour. It was, when I tell you it's the best thing that Pokemon has done in the last decade, I am not being hyperbolic. This was so good. It was so good. You have to, I can't even like explain it well enough for anyone to truly enjoy, I highly recommend going and searching it out. It's actually now taken down from the Pokemon channel. I'm assuming they'll re-upload at some point. But if you surf around, basically, there's almost like a story that's told throughout the entire thing. It's an hour of like house music, and Pikachu is wearing sunglasses and dancing around and spinning the ones and twos. And the crowd slowly gets more and more populated with different Pikachus, but there's all sorts of weird things happening. Like I'm rolling some B-roll right now, and if you look at the bottom right of the screen, one of the Pikachus is just like passed out the entire time. Like he looks like he's dead or sleeping or something like that. And it becomes like this whole thing where I looked at the chat and the poll is like, how are you guys feeling today? And it's like really good or like that one Pikachu. And they had these crazy moments. I'll fast forward to one more thing. I just want to give you like the idea of the kind of thing that was like happening here. It was so wild. It was, I believe, when we got to not Victory, Lavender Town. So the whole thing is happening exactly how you'd expect, right? And you've got the crowd bumping, the bright lights and everything like that. And then at one point, the lights go completely dim and it starts glitching out and it goes like silent. And I'm like, what the hell is happening here? And you see a little Pikachu and then there's a big spark of electricity and the lights are out and then it starts going dun, 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 and it starts playing like the Lavender Town theme, like the kind of creepy one, and it gets all illuminated weird. And then they start speeding up that sample, and then the beat drops in. Yeah, he emotes the whole time. I was saying, if you're worried about dancing this summer, just go and watch the emote pack that just dropped from DJ Pikachu. He's got all the moves. Sometimes you got the one hand out and you're kind of just vibing. The other times you got the hand in the air and you're vibing. You're not allowed to say I don't dance anymore. If you watched the DJ Pikachu set, all the moves that you need are supplied. Really good, way too good. It's absolutely unreal. So can't recommend enough checking out the highlight, which was the pre-show for the Pokemon Presents. Because when we got to the real thing, I
will say you would hope that's like a tease for something if it didn't turn into some kind of game. Like, and they do, Nintendo in general, but I don't really know for like Pokemon, like how much they like to tease. I know it's well known with like Nintendo characters, like things getting put in, and they're gonna notice it, but we're not gonna talk about it yet. I think immediately to Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, like the new design, and everybody freaking out about that. So I wonder if it's one of those moments for Pokemon. Maybe, probably not though, knowing Pokemon. So
if they put out Pikachu DJ Hero in a month, I wouldn't be that surprised. Like, I think you're right though that Pokemon is sort of known for like those Easter eggs and teasers, even in their like assorted media that's not their games. Like I think about the episode 1 of the Pokemon TV show where Ho-Oh is in it, or Pokemon the first movie where it came out and Gold and Silver weren't out yet, but Togepi and like Dawn Fan were in the movie, and it was just so hyped to see like
so dope.
Pika Blue, who is Meryl, but we didn't even know that, so we were all just calling him Pika Blue. Yeah, unreal. It was a different time. Unfortunately, it looks like those times are over because now we can get into the actual Pokemon Presents, and I have this stuff all listed kind of in order of like importance I went with here as opposed to the way that they displayed it, because they always do the same thing where they're like, here's a bunch of information about the cards and Pokemon Tarosi and Pokemon Cafe Mix and Pokemon Heroes Unite, and it's just like this onslaught of like, tune in for the Max Terra Battle raid levels in Pokemon Sword and Shield where you can catch Topo Chicho for like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Topo Chipo Mon.
I believe so. I believe that's the one. But here's what happened in the Pokemon Presents in order of how important it is to me. Number 1, the announcement and shadow drop of Pokemon Friends for iOS and Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. This is a game that I would kind of equate to, chat, help me out here as far as like a comparison for Pokemon Friends. I really think it is kind of like Brain Age, train your brain in minutes a day. It has this emphasis on like little brain teaser puzzles that you sort of like put together little by little, and every day they get increasingly difficult, and it seems like you can kind of mainline them, which is cool if you are interested in like spending a lot of time on it. But it's not, I streamed it for 30 minutes after the direct because it shadow dropped, And I was
Oh
like,
wow.
okay, well,
Okay.
this might be cool to just like check out right off Jump Street. It wasn't that cool. And after a half hour, I was like, okay, I get this. This is very much a game that is meant to be played for like 10 minutes at the start of your gaming session, not so much for like an hour and a half to really lock in on. It's got some
Gotcha.
stuff like it's wrapped around progression in the form of like you can collect yarn in so little plush Pokemon and deliver those Pokemon to people. But for the most part, they're these little like mini games. We're watching some B-roll here. You're trying to like do these little switch puzzles where you press the button and you let the Pokemon slide across the ice or identify the balloon that's going to be popped when the arrows shoot. It's tougher to explain than you think.
I'm already yawning.
Yeah, it is. It is a
Pokemon.
little. It's like what if WarioWare, but not fun. Is kind of where I'm at.
Maybe I would play this instead of just reading about other things on my phone when I'm at the doctor's office. Like one
Yes.
done, you know? Maybe.
Yes. They are hoping for that. That's for sure. But I don't know if that's how it's gonna play out. I also thought when they announced this game, like I could have sworn they said it was free, or maybe I looked at it and I was just like, obviously that's a free game. They wouldn't charge money for that.
Yeah.
And I went to the Switch too. I was like, let's see if the game is up, and it's fucking $9.99. I was like, God
No.
damn it, dude.
Nope.
Yeah, and
Ugh.
when you get in there, you can either get the game for $10 or you can get the deluxe pack for $37 that has all the available DLC. There's already $10 and $15 DLC packs programmed into this thing.
I see what
Apparently
they're
the
doing.
iOS version is like free to start. Yeah. It's tough. It's a bad
Ugh.
look.
Yuck.
Pokemon friends, walk, don't run to your nearest digital retailer to play.
So lame.
It is.
God.
Then
Ugh.
they showed off Pokemon Legends Z8. This is to me the second. Well, this is probably the third. I'm going to talk about it second because it was the most shown. Pokemon Legends ZA, which as we know is launching on October 16th on Switch, and there's a Switch 2 edition, of course, which is kind of how they're plugging it. Like they're not even talking about the Switch 1 version of this anymore. They are like, here's our upcoming game, Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Like, all right,
Okay.
yeah, of course, which is great for us, no doubt.
Yeah.
But there was a lot shown that I didn't give a shit about. Jerica, tell me, did you play Pokemon Legends Arceus?
Nope. Well, I say nope, but I didn't really give it a chance. I played it and I was like, I see the concept here and this would be really cool, but it just ran like shit and sort of looked like shit. So I was like,
Yes.
Pokemon, you did it to me again. And I know you will do it again to me with this next game. But I think this will be hopefully a little bit more polished and more engaging.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get over the jank of it. And yeah.
I get it. I was a huge fan of Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think that game, I credit it as being the most important Pokemon game that has come out since Pokemon Red and Blue, where it was the only one to like at least try to reinvent the wheel a little.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. It's like they tried to give us what we're looking for, and it wasn't perfect. What worries me about this game, and the thing that I keep on seeing about it, and like especially this presentation of Pokemon Legends ZA, they seemed so fucking obsessed with introducing all of these new like anime adjacent NPCs that are like, the trainer of the Crimson Gym has a brand new Venom type. Like, I'm like, all right, I can't with this. Like, they want me to care about the things that I don't care about in this game. And my worry, and the thing that I was saying today, is that with how much I loved what they were starting with Legends Arceus, it's hard to look at Pokemon Legends ZA from my point of view and not think that they may have learned the wrong lessons about what people liked about it. Because for me, I liked the freedom of like going into the wilderness and flying around on the back of a Pokemon and finding this like secluded cave, and inside this cave was this mystery or this Pokemon that I hadn't seen before, and then I could engage it in like an active battle and then fly around to the next thing. And the world was a little bland, and everyone called it, Pokemon Breath of the Wild to a certain point, and that was a tough look for it to be compared to a game that's so good, as you know. But now I look at this thing and it's like, we're in this dense ass city and it's all like story based and there's these little zones. It feels like Pokemon are the afterthought in this Pokemon game.
And they've always been like in every
Yeah.
game, I feel like it's just like rinse and repeat. And, you're not wrong. I do think like it was so nice to see the Pokemon Company, whoever Game Freak, whoever makes these games, the Pokemon folks at Nintendo just need to, I don't know, like you would think they could do it. And they did make a new type of game where you are free to explore and throw your Pokeballs at the Pokemon and you feel like you're part of the wild with them. Like they might try to kill you. And that's pretty cool. It's more
Yeah,
realistic and that's kind of the gameplay that I would want.
for
But
sure.
man, like they had an opportunity and I just think like they must just not have, I don't know if it's the talent, but just I don't know, the demands that I don't know, that are required from them. They just don't have the resources to make a game that we really want.
It's
So
so
they just
weird.
make what makes them money, and they're able to put out one every year or a couple of years. So
It is strange. You make such a good point on that, and it's something that I think about often of like, doesn't it feel like so many Pokemon games are just like, who the fuck greenlit this? Like, why am I playing like Pokemon Sleep? And why am I playing Pokemon Cafe Mix? Why am I not playing like a hyper realistic Pokemon game where I'm throwing out like Charizards like their Final Fantasy Bahamut summons and this thing flies in from the clouds like a god and burns up the city? Like I feel like we're missing out and we get
it's
weird takes instead.
because like they love money. Obviously, there's two different versions of this game. So like, why
Mhm.
don't you just make Breath of the Wild Pokemon already? Like we see Donkey Kong, and I know like two separate companies, but like they're all mingled and talking to each other. They have to. This
Yeah.
game sells units for Nintendo. Like it's been a part of Nintendo's DNA for so long. Like, why aren't there more resources? Because like Pokemon to me is bigger than Nintendo characters, in my opinion. Like for me, because I grew up with Pokemon more than playing Mario. Like, and some people might disagree with that, but like I think Pokemon is a bigger brand name than Mario it is for majority of gamers. Like, and I'm talking about younger kids. Like
Yeah.
Pokemon's still relevant more off like to little kids still. And I know
Mhm.
Mario is too, but like I don't know, just like the cards, the movies, and like everything that all these different mobile games, like they got money to put resources into making these things for Pokemon, but like why can't it be one great thing once in a
Yeah.
while? Just one good thing. It's
Tough.
I'm so I don't know. I'd love to hear why. It's so
Yeah.
strange.
Chat is really on it as well, and they're kind of giving us the business a little bit about like
Come on.
Noah's here, where he's like adults who have never been the target audience for Pokemon, mad that Pokemon games don't feel like they're for them anymore. Yes and no, and I do understand that we are like the vocal minority here when it comes to it, because here's the thing: whatever they've been doing for the last 30 years is working, because Pokemon is the biggest IP in the world. Like it is the most popular thing. It is the highest grossing franchise out of anything, and that's not talking about video games, that's talking about pop culture. It is bigger than Marvel, it is bigger than Star Wars, it is bigger than Mario, it is bigger than everything PlayStation has ever done. Pokemon individually is the biggest thing in the world as far as like recognizable intellectual property. The Everyone knows who fucking Pikachu is and what a Pokeball is, and will look at any cute little thing and say that looks like a Pokemon. So clearly something is right. But when you look at the body of work in the last 20 years, it's just surprising to me that it has been able to fucking maintain, because it seems like misguided take after misguided take, which is very, very frustrating. Spotlight Games Pod is here. As someone who counterpicked EA, how should I be feeling? How do you think that's going to review, Jerica?
Uh I feel like it would probably land in the low 80s, high 70s.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think it's
hope
gonna be
so.
obviously, unless they're just once again hiding the surprise, which
Yeah,
I always hope with Nintendo stuff lately, it's been the truth. Every game I've played so far on the Switch, there's
sure.
like a really nice surprise,
You are right.
but I don't know.
I am in the same boat as like I'm the person who drafted Pokemon Legends ZA, where they counterpicked me because I thought the same as you. Like I feel like what is the little X factor there? What are we not seeing yet? What is that reveal going to be ahead of launch? Because we still have 3 months to go. Where it's like, oh, this is the game we've been waiting for. This is the one. And the further that we get into it, and the more they show out of it, I actually lose more hope than I gain. So it is a little bit kind of scary and frustrating. But I don't know. Legend ZA, we'll have plenty of coverage on it because that's the other massive problem before we move on from this topic is that I will sit here and fucking make fun of that game and say how bad it looks and then be like, and look forward to more when I buy it on day one for full price and play the shit out of it. Like,
yeah. Once again, so I hear we're the problem. And, you know, I
Yeah.
buy them every year and I know I'm not going to I don't put a lot of time in. I keep telling or people keep telling me though to put more time into Scarlet. Like, it's really good. I'd have a great time.
Yep.
So who's to
How far
say?
did you get
Maybe
in
I
that?
can find some fun. I probably played about 5 to 10 hours of that.
I put in like 30 hours and I just kind of mainlined the plot on that game and I liked it fine. I beat it. And I was going to do at some point the same thing I did for Sword and Shield, where I did a very similar thing where I played Sword and Shield all the way almost to like the Elite Four, but I gave up. And then I had like an itch for Pokemon, like regular mainline Pokemon. I was like, I want to go beat some gyms. And I was like, oh, I never beat Sword and Shield. So I went back, I beat Sword and Shield, and then I bought the DLC and played through all the DLC as well. And it was almost like I got another Pokemon game out of my initial purchase, which was cool. And I kind of have the same thing waiting for me in Scarlet and Violet. Plus, with these new enhancements for Switch 2, maybe I dig into that before Legend ZA comes out. Give it another shot.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm so excited. I just fell off of all these games and waited for my Switch 2 to come in 3 or 4 years later.
It's arguably the right thing to do, to be honest. But hey, if you take that plunge and you start playing Pokemon Violet or Scarlet again, tell me and I'll start at the same time. We can trade Pokemon.
I definitely want to get to it before the is it October? Is that the release date?
October 16th. Yes.
October, okay.
Yes. Well, here's an interesting thing about the release date for this game before we move on from it. Not featured at the show, but announced in a fucking tweet and a press release after the fact, like Nintendo so often loves to do. And sometimes it feels weird because, you know, at some point, like when they announced the Nintendo Switch 2 and they had that big announcement, they knocked they ripped open the doors and said, here's everything you need to know about the Switch 2 in one presentation, except for the price. And then right after the show, they're like, by the way, it's 450 smackaroos or 500 with Mario. Everyone was like, fuck! Like, you can drop the price, which I get, you know, if you don't have good news, don't share it, I guess, on the stage. But for this one, they didn't share the fact that they had a bundle coming up. So it looks like, I'm not sure if it's replacing or it's in addition to, but on that same day, on October 16th, when Pokemon Legend ZA comes out, it looks like that is going to be the holiday season bundle that anchors the Nintendo Switch 2 going through like the holiday season. So same price frame. So you'll still be able to get your standalone Switch for $449 or for $499 instead of Mario Kart World. You can get Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 edition bundled in for the additional $50 on a little code, which, listen, they got a lot of faith in it, I guess, or they have nothing else to put their faith into.
Yeah.
They gotta have something. It is a little bit scary because I think a lot of people, myself included, have been like, okay, well, what are they keeping to have like be the big anchor for the holiday season for Nintendo? And I'm like, wait, a fucking Pokemon Legends ZA bundle?
It might be it.
Fucking Switch 1 game, buddy.
It's looking very probable. Yeah.
It's interesting. We'll talk about this in the news spotlight towards the end because we are reaching like a fever pitch for a presumed Nintendo Direct, which we'll try to put our finger on here at the end. But yeah, there's a lot of questions right now as far as like what this like chapter 2, if you will, for the Nintendo Switch 2 looks like, because we are starting to things off of the list of like Nintendo Switch 2 Chapter 1. And I think Pokemon Legends ZA is a big pillar of that. I think that Metroid Prime 4 is a big pillar of that, but already crossed out is Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, which were arguably like the two biggest pillars. And now we're looking at that list of games of like what's on the horizon for Nintendo Switch 2. And it's like some stuff, probably. You need some names. You need some names. Other cool stuff that was announced, not so much announced, but they showed Pokemon Champions again, which is kind of the like answer to the very popular version of online Pokemon games where it's kind of like a battle simulator as opposed to being like a full-on RPG. You kind of create a team via like a roster of things that you own, and then you're just focusing on like battling. which is pretty cool. That was initially slated for a 2025 release and casually shown off with a 2026 release today. So that is pushed into next year. But I believe that one is also free to play and Switch 2 and iOS, which will be interesting. And I think that will be one that might hit a little bit more than the typical Pokemon spin-off.
Yeah.
Just because it's so like
in a lot of ways it
is traditional.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yep. We will see. We'll see how that plays out. They announced season 2 or part 2 of Pokemon Concierge, the kind of like stop motion series where they all look like felt.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I haven't watched it yet. So
it's only 4 episodes long.
I know I'm sort of glad I haven't watched it yet because then I can watch a whole season. It would feel like a decent season if I wait for the season 2.
There was this one chat. Help me out. What is this Pokemon called? The actual Pokemon. It's not Seal and it's not Dugong, but it's like a big version of that with like hair. Like it's a sea lion, not like a seal type of thing. It's a big guy with big tusks, big blue tusks. Might be like a Gen 2 or 3 Pokemon. Definitely not Gen 1. But there was a scene in this where this guy, this like old man was talking about like, oh, me and this Pokemon have been through many years together. And it shows like them doing all of these adventures together. And he's old as fuck. And I was like, oh my God, is Pokemon fucking Felt going to make me Walrein. Okay, perfect. Nailed it. Pronunciation 10 out of 10. Gen 3. Got it. I was like, I would love for a Pokemon game to hit an emotional beat that makes me cry at some point.
One of the things we brought up on that episode. I need it to make me cry. I need more Pokemon content to make me cry and feel despair, please.
For sure. More
Nothing
games
ever
in
hit like, yeah, last time I cried about Pokemon's when Ash said goodbye to Butterfree.
Oh my God.
And maybe that one movie with Mewtwo and Mew. I guess the first movie.
I watched that. Yes, Pokemon, the first movie. We watched it on stream like 10 days ago. It's free on YouTube now. It did almost make me cry again. It was really fucking good,
just seeing Pikachu cry is just really tough on me.
Ash gets like spoilers for the 25-year-old movie Pokemon. But like Ash gets like kind of killed in that movie where Pikachu's about to get zapped by Mewtwo and Ash takes the bullet and Ash is like laying on the ground dead, and Pikachu is doing this like desperation trying to resuscitate him with his fucking like Pikachu. Yeah, it is getting more and more. Oh my God, it's so fucking sad. How did they do it? I don't know, but it is really good shit. I'm ready to watch that movie again, and I watched it like a week and a half ago. All right. There's a new show coming out called Pokemon Tales: The Misadventures of, I'm gonna let you guess, 2 Pokemon. They've never been the star of a Pokemon anything. Which 2 Pokemon are they?
Psyduck came to mind, but he's good because he's concierge. He's in that show, right?
Is. Yeah, so he is.
That one.
Yep. It's a good guess.
Shoot, I'm like, there's so many to pick. I'll just take a guess. It wouldn't be a starter. I'm trying to pick a good one. I want to make a good guess. I don't want to just give you a random Pokemon.
I'll give you more details of what we know about it.
Okay.
So it is also stop motion, but it is like claymation style, and it's from the studio Aardman, I think is how you say it, who is the European studio behind like the Wallace and Gromit movies.
It's gonna be a sheep Pokemon then, because I remember they announced something about this, right? Because I was all in. I was like, I love Wallace and Gromit. So
maybe yes. Okay, so Wooloo is very predominantly featured, but
I knew it. Come on.
It stars. All right.
Who's the star of the show?
It's 2 people. It's Pokemon Tales is the subtitle, or like the framing, like up on the top, small font. Pokemon Tales: The Misadventures of Stirfetch'd and Pichu. It's like the 2 most random Pokemon that have ever existed.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that. Farfetch'd, right?
Yeah. Well, it was Farfetch'd like weird Alolan or Hisuian version where he's kind of like a knight, like a jousting knight, and he's Sirfetch'd. It's very strange.
See, that's where I can't keep up now.
Yeah, it's fucking
that's cool.
insane.
And the
Yeah,
art style
sure.
should be I think the art style is a really good match
It
for Pokemon.
was nice. It was the most visually appealing thing that we saw throughout the entire
They
thing,
kick
for sure.
ass with their animation, I just like anything that,
Yeah.
claymation that even if it's CGI claymation, like, look like I love that aesthetic so much.
Yep. Me too.
Pretty dope.
It just reminds me of like it's just frustrating. Everything, all roads lead back to like, why don't the games look like this yet? And part of it's hardware, and part of it's like, well, no, it could look better. Like, fuck, man. I just want to see. I just want to see it look as good as some of this stuff. It's like when are video games gonna look like Toy Story? And we hit that point. That was
Yeah, yeah,
1998, and I think now in 2025 we're good. We're 1996 for Toy Story. It's like 95 or
I think
96.
so, yeah.
It took us 30 years to get to that
That
point.
looks like
When
that looks
is
like
the next
garbage.
Pokemon going to look like Pokemon Concierge or Pokemon Tales: The Misadventures of Sirfetch'd and Pichu? I'm ready for that.
I
I'll
mean, do
tell
you
you.
think of like what was it? I think of Yoshi's Woolly World. I loved how
So
that looked.
good. Yeah.
I'll play the Yoshi games. I pick up a Nintendo game when Yoshi's on it, and I
Yep.
liked how that looked. Like I love stylized, like Little Big Planet, that sort of thing. Like I love
Yes.
that shit so much.
For
That's
sure.
a really good match for Pokemon if they
I
did
agree.
for that
I
too.
agree. And it's like a Pokemon can be so cozy in some ways too, where I think that plays where you've got your
Mhm.
like Zapdos and Moltres and Mewtwo and stuff like that. But for every one of those, you've got like your little fucking Psyduck and Pichu and Steel and like your little guys, your little
Aw.
starters. So I'm into it. That's honestly I'll say that's it for the Pokemon Presents. However, there was obviously a big Scarlet and Violet Terra Raid event, Pokemon Go Fest 2025, Pokemon Sleep updates featuring Entei,
Ooh,
Raikou,
yeah, I
and
like those guys.
Suicune.
Funny and
Yep, the
yeah.
the dogs.
Who
You
let
have
the
some.
dogs out? I love them so much
Oh,
as figures. Like these Pokemon were just like I love their design so much.
that's so sick. Look at this. Jerica's got receipts. She just pulled out Entei, Suicune, and Raikou.
Don't have to tell me twice. I got these
They're
dogs. I got these
they're
dogs
big.
in me. That sounded bad. I won't
She
say
pulled
that
them
again.
dogs out.
Got these dogs in me. That thing's
Do you
deadly. Watch out.
have we talked about the third Pokemon movie where a little girl is convinced that Entei is her father and she
Yeah,
spends the whole time calling it
that was the
Papa?
last. That was the last one I saw in theaters, and my mother was really confused.
So good.
I was like,
Hot dog
I was like,
jamboree.
can Inte be my father? Because I don't know where not to take this serious, but it's hilarious. I was just like, well, I don't have a father figure. Could Inte be my dad?
It would be a
My
good
mom was
pick,
like,
to be
I don't
honest.
know, babe.
Okay,
I
wait,
don't know.
Jerica, you have the entire shelf behind you to choose who will be the father figure.
Oh, like anything on my shelf?
Anything. Yep, you name
Oh,
it. You name it. There are options.
oh, I got an idea. Yeah, I
Okay.
gotta know who. I know who.
Yep.
You would think it would be Magellan Man, but I don't like the umbilical cord. This is
Right.
Oryx from Destiny 2.
The Taken
Taken
King?
King? Yeah, I want him to be my daddy for
That's
obvious
good.
reasons. He's massive.
For
He's
sure.
big.
Yeah. Very intimidating. Very good
Except he's
pick.
dead, I think now, I think he's really
Yes.
dead. He's been like a
I
soul that's been still around, but in the last season, he finally died.
I think that Destiny's one of Destiny's biggest problems from like an outside perspective. And when I say outside perspective, I played 1,000 hours of Destiny 1 and like 100 of Destiny 2 in its first year or two. But as like a fallen king or a fallen Destiny player, I think that they have a real problem with like iconic characters and then this really bad habit of killing them off. Like you can't kill your icons. Like you don't delete Pikachu from the game halfway through, We don't have no Luigi in the game now because Luigi died in Mario Brothers 2. You got to keep your icons around.
Yeah, Destiny's weird, and then they keep them, but they're only echoes of them, but they're still the
Right.
same bosses.
For sure. We have to
We
go
won't get
back.
into it, but very intrigued. I'll probably talk about this on JK Games next week because I got to talk about it at some point. But like the new expansion for Destiny, wild. The new raid, haven't played it for the first time ever in like 6 years. I didn't do the raid day one, and people are mad because they went too far
From
with
from
difficulty.
what I
They went
heard,
way too far with things.
from what I heard, I've got a couple. My community is pretty wide as far as like I'm a very much a variety streamer, so we get kind of all walks of gamer in there, and there's a decent amount of Destiny 2 gamers that come in. And we were talking just the other day on like the day after that raid dropped, where you know how it is. They all like they're in the world's first race, and they took 2 days off of work, and they ordered pizza and Mountain Dew, and they're ready to grind. And I guess like the amount of disappointment and rage coming from these people that have been reporting in has been insane.
And it's not just because like, oh, it's challenging, it takes skill. Like this reset, like this expansion reset how armor works. It resets
Mm.
how weapons work. It's like a real hard reset to the point where it's completely different for me. Like I
Yeah,
don't know
scary.
how to build my builds anymore. So like on top of that, and then changing it up so much where basically nothing matters. Like any weapon you use, strongest weapon in the game won't matter.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I So I just got off of this like subathon thing where we raised money for a computer, and the hook for it was like Jake plays all the games he makes fun of all the time, and one of them was Destiny 2. So I
Oh,
hopped into
happened?
Destiny 2
Oh no,
for the
this has
first
already
time.
happened.
Already
Oh,
happened. So I hopped in the
oh,
first
I
time.
mean, I can't wait to hear what you thought.
Tough onboarding process. Like even as somebody who's put in a lot of time to Destiny, I walked in there and was like immediately overwhelmed. I was like, how do I just do that? Where's my Vanguard strikes? And that's not a thing
Oh
anymore,
yeah.
apparently. It's like
Oh, it's been
I was like, I
nothing.
remember how this is
Like
supposed
that's
to work.
been I think they're still
But
there. They're just in a different spot, but it might actually be gone now. But
there
yeah.
were two things that really spoke to me, however. Well, the
Okay.
first thing was when I walked into it's not the tower anymore. What's it called? Or is it the tower?
Yeah, that's the tower
It's
main
the
the main
tower?
hub. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was it in the first game?
It was a tower, but then it got destroyed. But then eventually we
And then
had
it was like
another
the
tower.
farm, and then it was the tower.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Initially, until
Yep.
you found
So I
another
was in the
tower.
tower. I spawned in, and I start running up to the where the Cryptarch hangs out. I think where he
Hmm.
decodes your fragments. And there was this massive pigman soldier standing there. He
Oh
was
yeah.
wearing all blue. I was like, who is this man, dude?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this. Chilling in the tower. So I was
Yeah, there's a
intrigued
lot
by the
of
pigman.
yeah, there's way
And
more
then
races like in like different aliens like partnerships now. They're hanging out in the tower. It's wild.
hang out. Why not? We get some more icons in there. We need some. God knows. We keep on killing Cade 6. Is that his
Yeah.
name? I
Yep, it
think
is.
so. We can have Cade 7. Is that a
Mm,
thing?
no.
It'd be
There is a
easy.
guy named Lodi or Bodhi.
Lodi.
Hold on a second. You
Okay.
gotta look this up with the
Have you
chat.
ever seen the
Lodi.
movie Beer Fest?
Beer Fest?
Yeah. It was made by like the guys who made like Super Troopers, I think. At one point,
Uh, who's in it? Oh, you don't have to tell me.
it's just the same
Maybe.
exact cast as Super Troopers. Like nobody that I
Okay.
could name. Jay something, I forget his name. He's kind of a good director. But at one point they kill off one of the characters, and then to bring them back, they just say that he has a twin and that he just wants to be called his friend's name, and also secretly his his brother has been updating him on everything that's been going on, so you guys can just treat me just like I'm him. And they basically just kill this character off just to bring him back under like a different moniker, and then also
Shit.
say you can have the original moniker back too. And the movie just carries on. It's such a good bit. They should do that with Cade 7 every time they want to kill him off. You got Cade 7, 8, 9 now, easy, and they're
I,
all in cahoots.
I think the community probably would be okay with it.
I think so. I think it would just be smart.
You just look at Lodi real quick because we know the aesthetic and
Yeah.
characters of Destiny. We know what Destiny characters look like. Some of us, if not all of you, just know like this was a big, and this was on the internet a while back, but I didn't watch any of this, so I'm catching up late. But like, just look at this character.
No, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
You're kidding me. I can do this. I'm a capable person. I can get this screenshot put into this
Good
very
character. I was really
program.
surprised. Good character.
This
Definitely.
is
'Cause I
unreal.
played like a few hours of the new stuff, and this character. There's some weird like control vibes. Like is Sam Lake
This
worked on
looks
this
like
game?
the
Just
guy
weird.
in Cubicle 3 at your office.
You would at first it was really character's actually pretty decent. It's probably it's the only good thing about the expansion so far. in my opinion.
I like that in like the distant future when all of the technology exists for anything, we haven't figured out a replacement for fucking glasses. Jerica, he's got the same glasses for you. It takes place in 3032.
I was like, no, I don't trust this guy. He's wearing glasses and he has an earpiece like he works at Best Buy. Like, I don't know. Like, is he a podcaster? Sure. Is he a video game podcaster?
Can we get a manager to the front lines, please? We got an issue with Oryx, the Taken King, up here. All
right. I didn't mean to derail us with Destiny.
No, that's fine. I used to. My first podcast that I hosted, Game List, was with a buddy of mine who was a Destiny freak throughout the entire thing, and we would always do like a "What have you been playing?" thing. Like it was very much the same format in some ways as like JK Games. Like, hey, let's just talk about like what we've been doing because everybody does fucking news and stuff like that. So she's like, "Tell me what you've been playing." This fucker was so into Destiny 2 that every time I like got his list of games, it was like Destiny 2. I was like, dude, I'm limiting you. I'm like, we can have Colin's Destiny 2 minutes is what I would call it. You have 2 minutes and I'll start the timer and you can say anything you want about Destiny and I won't make fun of it or anything. And that's how I limited it. But every single episode had the Destiny 2 minutes. I get it.
That's had Kayla had to have pretty much the same situation last year. That's the only game I had time to play last year.
Get it. It is all consuming. It is. Let's jump into the news spotlight and talk about just a couple of the big headlines that have happened over the last couple of weeks. Jerica, I know that you haven't checked out too much of today's news, so I'll relay some of it to you, some of it good, some of it bad, of course, just like things always are in the video game industry. Now, here is where I want to start. I'm going to start with, you tell me, bad news or good news?
Oh, I like to get the bad news out of the way, always.
Bad news out of the way.
I like to end on bad news.
Supermassive has delayed Directive 8020 to 2026. Did you know this?
Delayed the game?
They delayed the game until next year. It was supposed to come out, I think, already this year and delayed once until later this year. Then officially delayed via a tweet today into 2026. Supermassive, of course, is the team behind the Man of Medan, all the Dark Pictures stuff, all of those Choose Your Own Adventure games.
I always have a great time playing their games, and I remember the directive now. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, it's like a sci-fi,
like the creepy sci-fi space one. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Now you haven't seen the news story, correct?
No.
You haven't read about it. All right.
Is this a game?
I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Yeah, so we're going to gamify this.
Okay.
They put out a tweet today. Do you think the tweet included information about layoffs? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah. Game delayed.
Yes. Yeah. Now, we're going to see how close you can get. They gave a specific number of how many people.
Why?
Listen, most podcasts will sit here and be like, the game industry has to change. We're going to play a game called Who Can Guess? How quickly can Jerica guess how many people got laid off from Supermassive games today? All right. Let me just Google their size. Okay. So Supermassive.
I feel like they're not massive. No pun intended.
No,
I feel like they're not super massive. I feel like they're probably 50 to 150. Maybe
I feel
100.
like that's probably it. I'm not seeing anything with like an actual head count here that is at a glance notable. But okay, how many people do you think they laid off today?
Probably a quarter of their team, and if it's around that many, 25, 35.
Okay. I was gonna guess that you would be like 10 or like 100, and I'd be like lower, higher, but you kind of fucking nailed it. It's 36 people. Here's my question for you, Jerica. Why do people always blast out their bad news like this?
I don't know. It must be something like is there an industry secret or like thing they like? Do investors require them to put that information?
It's gotta be like
there's gotta be some kind of situation.
Because I never see the tweet where it's like, we just hired 50 great artists. Like, where's that headline? That's what I wanted to tweet about. Put that in a fucking pictured tweet. To our dearest community, we just hired 50 great people today. They're wonderful. We're working on an unannounced project. Please look forward to it. Instead, it comes with our hat in our hands as we explain to you that 36 people are out of a job and our game isn't coming out until next year. Please look forward to Little Nightmares 3. Just go. I'm always
That's a weird way to end it too.
That is, the last line in that entire thing was like, "This will not affect the development or release of Little Nightmares 3."
It's gotta because like I feel like no other company's like showcasing how many people they laid off. So it has to be dealing with like video game specific and like contract work, like how these studios make money, it's got to be a reason because it's
Yeah.
very strange because you don't hear. I mean, I don't follow a lot of other businesses on social media, so like
Sure.
I don't see these announcements from. I don't know. What's another? I can't think of anything else
Square
besides
Enix.
video. Yeah,
I don't think I've ever heard. I mean, they're pretty tightly run. I'm sure they've had layoffs I can't think of, and I know they just rearranged a bunch of things. But like, I always have this like thing. Like, I've done a lot of like management in my life, some large teams and stuff, and they always talk about like the shit sandwich. You know the shit sandwich concept.
yeah,
You gotta deliver bad feedback, sandwich it between something fucking good and something good, so that that bad stuff doesn't feel so bad. You know, two good points, one bad point. Like, give us something to celebrate, and then say we fired 36 people, and then give us something to fucking
uh-huh.
celebrate again. Like, get that bad taste out of our mouth. But I don't know why. It reminds me of like, okay, this is a very hyper specific thing, but like in the streamer universe, everyone has their own fucking Discord, right? And sometimes I'll get like a ping, like the dreaded at everyone. Everyone that's listening to this that has a Discord knows what I'm talking about, where you get a notification. It's like some server I joined 6 months ago that I don't participate in just added everyone to say some message. And I'm like, God fucking damn it. I'm going to go ignore this. I click into it and it's like, no stream tonight. And it's like, okay, well, why? Like, don't at me with bad news. At me when there's like a special fucking event. Like, hey, at everyone right now, I'm live doing donations for charity and I'll take a fucking eye in the face if you gift 2 subs. That's what you should be adding me about. Don't at me with bad news to say that the stream is canceled and I'm sick.
yeah. It's a little strange. It doesn't feel. It's weird. But I think to your point, like if you would, I don't know, flood the channels with some other types of communication, maybe we'll be less surprised. I don't know, or less at least mad about it. Um,
Exactly.
it
Exactly.
sucks. But
Well,
it's never ending. It's, for businesses of all shapes and sizes right now. Um,
exactly.
sucks.
Well, actually, maybe Ubisoft is paying attention because they gave us some good question mark news today. So maybe they have bad news coming up. It was a couple days ago, but Yves Guillemot, the Ubisoft CEO
Ah,
for a very long time, friend of the show, Yves, small man in stature, but not in presence.
hmm.
Yves has been steering that ship in some direction for a while. And they just
Mm.
appointed new co-CEOs, one of them being, of course, another member of the Guimont family, Charlie Guimont, who is Yves' son. Yves' son. So pretty cool, but another co-CEO situation. Do you see that popping up more often these days? I feel like
You
I never
do.
heard about co-CEOs, but now in the video game industry, it's like Herman Hulst, and by the way, this other guy, and also Herman Hulst is out, and now it's only this guy.
Maybe they're just trying to see who does a better job,
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Or maybe they can
I,
split the salary and they don't have to pay them as much, but I'm sure that's not the case with
and if it's
that
even at
those
the
people.
end of the first year, if it's even, Charlie Guimont and the other CEO have to wrestle, and whoever wins gets to be the sole CEO.
That would be awesome. Live stream it. Man, they'd make a lot of money.
Yes,
People would watch
for
that.
sure. For sure. You can only get it with a subscription to Ubisoft Plus,
There
of
you
course.
go.
Available now, day one access to Watch Dogs Legion.
God. God.
I'm in. I'm fucking in.
It worked. I haven't thought about that game in a minute, so.
For sure. For sure. I think about that game. Wait,
Really?
I don't know why, but like the cover art for Watch Dogs Legion, where that guy's wearing like a fucking
Like the
pig
pig?
mask and shit.
You're right. I haven't forgotten it, and I have never
I'm like,
played.
why the fuck is that game like this? It's so weird.
That's strange.
What a strange, like, I thought that was gonna be like the next Assassin's Creed when it came out, and next thing you know, it's a fucking
Yeah.
pig man who works as a garbage man who you have to assassinate and wonder why he's not happy in the streets. It's so fucking weird. Okay, so Ubisoft, new CEOs appointed, very cool. I've got some good news in the fact that EA is going to finally reveal a Battlefield that they've actually taken their time on for the first time in a very long time this Thursday. So on the 24th of this month,
Okay.
2 days from
It's
now, or if
happening.
you're listening to this in the future, tomorrow, there will be a full reveal trailer. They are officially calling it Battlefield 6, back to basics type situation. And it seems like I don't know. I think they could be poised to have a good one here. They had some missteps since I would say the glory days of like Battlefield 3 and 4. You know, I think Battlefield 5 was lackluster. I think Battlefield 1 is pretty well regarded.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
haven't cared about one for a while. It's been a minute. I've sort of
Yeah.
not forgotten, but almost like, I wonder if we'll ever see one of those. So they've been working on it. Okay.
Yep. And I know that game has been played behind the scenes for like more than a year now. People have been in that Battlefield Insider program. There's videos of it online, all kinds of destruction and stuff like that. It seems like it's good shooting. And, you know, if Call of Duty has a thought to get complacent, which they shouldn't have right now, maybe Battlefield takes the reins again. Who knows? Battlefield 3 made a play back in the day. There were a lot of people on that game instead of Call of Duty that year. I remember.
Yeah. Like last time I've been like really into it.
I've got 2 more pieces of news that I really want to talk about. I was going to talk about the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, but I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it. I just
like it has that lady in it, but then people are mad about her not looking like the game character.
Yeah,
that's all I know about it. I'm like, that's cool. I was wondering if it was actually a Mortal Kombat movie. I didn't see the title card, so I've seen snippets.
Mortal Kombat 2, it's the sequel to that one that came out during COVID.
Okay, yeah.
People are like fucked up on Jade because she's like bald, I guess. I think it's just the fucking anti-bald agenda back at work. Oh, here we go again.
Oh no, Jade.
Story of my life.
I might shake my head in solidarity.
Yes, that's the only way to do it.
I just wear wigs.
Good. It's not so bad. It's a good lifestyle.
I know, I bet.
I got some sad news. Not official news, but EA has reportedly shelved the Need for Speed series.
No.
Feels so
wrong.
What
the hell? What the really?
I know. Yeah. I get that like the last 5 Need for Speeds have not been the hottest ticket, but I thought Unbound was the best Need for Speed in a really long time with that interesting visual aesthetic. I thought the racing was good. Criterion was finally doing it. It was a good setup. I'm sad to not see that, but hey, maybe it's because they're bringing Burnout back, baby.
You know, either that or like I was like, why? It's really surprising we haven't seen like true Need for Speed like Underground remake, because I feel like that would do really good for all of us older gamers that will eat up the remakes with, you know, the success of Tony Hawk. I'm surprised Underground didn't get a remake. That would have been dope.
How in the world? I said that when Unbound came out, like it was so close to being a Need for Speed Underground vibe of like, why didn't you just call it Underground 3 or reboot it and call it Underground? Like, I literally think that if you just changed that name and nothing else about the game to Underground, it would sell like 50% more copies. Like if it sold like 5 million, it would sell like 7.5 million copies. Like I think it would be like an actual success and have all kinds of fucking waves. But I don't know. Like you gotta think that some of these must be like a break glass in case of emergency type situation. Like even just remaster it. I don't care. I'll still drive like a 1999 fucking Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Let's go.
The Tokyo night. For sure. The last thing that I have here is Nintendo discontinuing the Switch voucher program, which for me is devastating.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the best thing in the world. So I'll explain it now, even though it's really not beneficial anymore. But basically what the Nintendo has had for a while has been this voucher program. For $100, you get 2 of these digital vouchers. So $100 lets you, for a full year, you have possession of these vouchers. And at any point during that year, as long as you have a Nintendo Switch Online account, you can trade one of those vouchers for a full-priced Nintendo Switch game. I did it, for example.
Damn.
I did it for Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, right? So a $70 game and a $60 game is basically $130 worth of stuff that I got for $100. And I always have these things going. I also love to stack that deal up with like some of those gift card deals where I could go to like Sam's Club and get like $100 of Nintendo Switch credit for $90.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you're spending $90 on 2 like brand new Nintendo Switch games. I still have a couple of vouchers laying around that I'll use probably on Pokemon Legends ZA and then upgrade it to like the Switch 2 version, but it's already getting the waters are already a little muddied with like the prices going up, and then the fact that the vouchers are only for Nintendo Switch 1 games and not 2. But now all of these Switch 1 games have these upgrade paths as well. So I get why the messaging was never really clear, and it's only getting more complicated, which is unfortunate. But I'm sad to see it go, because that's been a big money saver from somebody who, go figure, isn't a bankable sponsor for Nintendo. I can't imagine why, but Who knows? I guess their family-friendly nature goes against everything I stand for. What can I say? The last thing that I want to talk about is just here's my guess. Here's my guess is that next week on content, either here on Spotlight Games or on Drop In Drop Out Pod, we will be talking a lot about a Nintendo Direct. I think that sometime either, let's see, what's tonight? It's Tuesday night. So I think we will have a Nintendo Direct on either Thursday, Friday, Monday, or Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, maybe Thursday of next week. So I think in the next like 5 or 6 business days, we'll see a Nintendo Direct. There is a call coming up, an investors call, quarterly investors call on August 1st, which is in Japan will be the 30th for us here in July. And goddamn, do we need to know what the fuck is the future of the Nintendo Switch 2? We don't have enough right now. We need
I agree.
release
I want to
dates for
know.
Metroid.
I want to know my
Yes.
calendar for the next 6 months. I want to know what the next
100%.
banger is going to be that I'm I have all my amiibos out now. I haven't had these out in years, and Donkey Kong has revitalized me. I'm also played Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm just like a big yeah.
Did you get the Donkey Pauline?
Of course I did.
Oh, so good. Look at us.
If you would have told me, hey, Jerica, I know you're like mad about buying that Switch. You're just gonna be the biggest Nintendo fan, not the biggest, but you're just gonna be really high on it in a couple of months. I wouldn't have believed you. I truly wouldn't. Like,
It's awesome.
and it's a Donkey Kong
say,
game. Like, what the hell?
How, like, listen, back in my day, an amiibo was $12.99. I bought all 8 of them when the first amiibo line came out. I got Donkey Kong, I got Mario, I got Kirby, I got Jigglypuff, Pikachu, all the ones that came out, $12.99. And then I remember it went up, price of milk went up. It was like $15.99 for some of those later ones. My Wii Fit trainer cost a little bit more, that kind of thing. God damn, I impulse bought this on the day that Donkey Kong came out. I was like, I don't need that. And then the game came out and I played it one night. I was like, I need to have Donkey Kong and Little Pauline chilling on my shelf. I will not stand for it.
It's a good one.
Buy it. $30
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They're so
That
expensive.
hurts.
Yeah, because I was like, I feel like they used to be much cheaper because I've actually bought any in a while, and I was like, oh, wow, okay. Well,
crazy. Yeah. They're not messing around. I'll tell you that much. Jerica, Spotlight Games, hour flat, easy show, fun show, a blast to do with you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for, I guess, asking me if I could hop on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on Not My Show.
Yeah.
But hey, listen. It was still a good time and nice to chop it up with you one-on-one. An hour-long conversation between Jake and Jerica is a treat for anybody's ears, including ours. Jerica, tell the people, if they are not familiar in the Spotlight Games YouTube sphere and podcast service, where can they find you? Tell us everything you do.
You can find me everywhere at Jerkachu. I feel like someone had in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
It's like jerking at you.
Sure.
That's like how I like to say it, sort of dirty. But I'm not a jerk, and I'm not jerking. No. But it's like a play on Pikachu, like Pikachu, but jerk. I have a niece. I say this whole spiel, and everybody's like, "Why you gotta get into it again?" A spiel. But I like that I have a niece calls me Jerka, and it's really cute. And then one day, Jerkachu just came out of my mouth, and I was like, "That's cute."
It is
that's my online name.
Similar to like Pokimane, where Pokimane's her name is like Iman, I believe. Or Pokemon, okay. So it kind of like is a play on that. Jerkachu, Pokemon. Maybe you guys should collab, and
all this hate that I just keep giving Pokemon, it doesn't make any sense. They're probably gonna come to me like, oh, I bet this lady does a lot of Pokemon content, and it's just me saying I hate it. Why do they keep making videos?
Stop fucking us over.
I do like Pikachu though a lot.
Yes, for sure.
That's where you can find me, and then our video game podcast, our video game book club podcast for JK Games. We're playing Tears of the Kingdom. We're 3 weeks into it, so follow along for the adventures. And
I am following along myself, and I'm having a fucking blast. It is awesome playing Tears of the Kingdom again, and you guys are crushing it over there. Of course, JK Games, you can find your favorite podcast app. It is part of the Drop In Drop Out umbrella, so go to dropindropoutpod.com to find everything you need about me, about Jerica, about JK Games, about Spotlight Games, about Drop In Drop Out, about Cognitive Clips, about the Dumpster Boy, about everybody that's a part of this thing. Your one-stop shop. I thank you guys all for your time. Thank you for listening to us or watching us. Make sure you like and subscribe. Next week, I believe, is the return of P. Schwussy and the Dumpster Boy. I think I'm getting the oust. They said, hey, the podcast's too good. We need it to be back to where it was. I'm just kidding.
Man.
I'm excited to hear them go back to it. Very, very good stuff. Shout out, of course, to our live chat and our awesomely active Discord over there, also linked on the website. This is the part where I click end stream and we wave until it ends and plays the outro. Bye.